got some really big news here. It appears that there has been some funky business going on in Maine. I don't know why I'm following this politic junk, but maybe I'll wake someone up on the levels, on the lower levels. This is all, finding truth isn't just about one level. You go through all different levels. You wake up, then you get into the politics, and these people really aren't the problem. Although I want to see what Ron Paul does. I want to see what, if he can get in office, I want to see what he can do. I want to see what he does. But because we really don't need this. We don't need a government. They make you think you need them by false attacks and stuff like that. There's a lot of questions around 9/11, and if you haven't looked into it with an objective eye, then you don't see it. But anyway, I'll cover this real quick. You tell me what you want. I also want to cover some spiritual matters as well. Actually, I got the Eastward program open. I got to remember to had something I wanted to show everybody there. So, but anyway, here's Rachel Maddow. I'll play a short clip of this video. It's at Infowars.com. Again, good news, good report. Facts are there. So, but like I said, there's a hidden hand behind all this, and this is some of what they're doing here. So this will help somebody, hopefully, open someone's eyes, maybe. But what they're doing here is they stole votes from certain counties. Just not reporting votes in certain counties can affect who runs for the Republican Party. Okay, and they do it on such microcosmic levels that no one sees it, no one checks it, no one's ever thought. But see, the thing about it is, Ron Paul has his people in place. I bet you the guy calling in was a Ron Paul supporter. One guy was supposed to call in his votes, and he was told that they already had them. And they were all zero, as if nobody voted, and they're calling it a clerical error, which, what you can do with your clerical error. Alright? It's on a roll, hanging on a wall. That's your clerical error. But listen.
And the next contest was Maine, where if you're Mitt Romney, there was a real risk that narrative about you being an unexpected loser, that narrative is not only going to continue, it's going to get worse.
There's some other good news, too, and it's an ongoing caucus, and it's over on the East Coast. I think it's the state called Maine.
Whatever you think about the Ron Paul campaign and its tactics and its prospects, its goals, the Ron Paul campaign has resources, and they have taken Maine very seriously. And the prospect that Mitt Romney might lose in Maine to Ron Paul would be a devastating next chapter in what was the bad Romney narrative heading into Maine. The bad Romney narrative that he wasn't winning in places that he ought to be winning. Mitt Romney really had to win Maine. And the Republican Party in Maine this weekend said that he did. I don't think he did. I'm not saying that somebody else won.
There you go. I'll have the link in the description area if you want to check this out. The whole video. It's only 5 minutes and 59 seconds, and there's another one here that's 6 minutes and change. Listen to this one.
Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is back on track after winning the Maine caucuses. What the headlines haven't told you is that what happened in Maine is the messiest caucus Republicans have had so far, and it may not be over just yet. So was there rampant voter fraud in Maine? Then it is investigating a reality check that you won't see anywhere else.
Maine is not a major state during the national primaries. Only 24 or so delegates come out of Maine to the convention. But what happened there over the weekend does more than just raise eyebrows. It is enough to make you question, was the caucus fixed? Saturday night, February 11th, the head of the Maine GOP, Charlie Webster, announced that Governor Mitt Romney won the Maine caucus by a slim margin. Official totals read that Romney barely won the caucus by less than 200 votes. The only problem? The governor was declared the winner with only 84% of precincts counted. Two counties, Washington County and Hancock County, had not held their caucuses. In Hancock, county Republicans had decided to hold their caucus this Saturday, February 18th. In Washington County, though, the state canceled the caucus because of snow concerns. Turns out the area only got a light dusting. Now, the problem here, Mr. Webster says even when those caucuses are held this Saturday, the votes won't count. I talked with him on the phone.
On February 11th, that was election day. Our rules said this is when you're going to have to vote by this date. If you're out of town that day, you don't get your vote counted. I'll let the people, the caucuses will be held. The state committee, our governing body, will have to decide if we want to expand that.
You heard right. The head of the GOP in Maine saying that the caucuses will be held this weekend, and even though party officials were the ones who canceled the caucus in Washington County, they will not count the votes of those who turn out because they missed the February 11th deadline. And if the party decides to count those votes, well, they won't make that decision until the second week of March after Super Tuesday. Well, that alone has caused...
Let's see what they're doing here. You see what they're doing? It's very interesting. So there you go. Links in the description area. Take it easy.